Yo, what up? It's Tahir Moore.
And I'm Patrick Cloud.
And welcome to another episode of Damn Internet, You Scary.
Very scary. All right, well, I like the last one. Let's try again.
Same beat or different?
No.
Different beat? Okay, all right.
think-
Let's try. Okay. Here we go. Just gonna make one up.
Okay. The dogs is out. Damn internet, you scary. Dogs is out. I'm getting hairy. Ooh, pull out the Mac. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, pull out the shotty and got. Oh, damn internet, you scary. You so scary. Scary than a mouse.
Did you just fucking growl?
I did.
I thought you were going the DMX route, but I wasn't for sure. But that growl basically solidified it for you, boy.
I wasn't 100% sure if I heard that beat before. Was that a real beat?
I don't know. It's just influence. Like I literally never know what I'm gonna do until I just start making the first sound.
I'm trying to figure out like what it sounded like.
It sounded like an old No Limit song.
Oh, it's that P. Diddy song that it sounds like. You know what I'm talking about?
Now, which one's that?
Oh, what is it? It's like a heavy rock sample that they tried to flip into. Yo, like you could hate me now.
Oh, that's Nas. Yeah, but P Diddy was on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just didn't go how I thought at all.
He started growling.
DMX is a completely different guy.
He is, man. It's sad
It's
when
crazy,
you know
though.
somebody for
Different.
a certain thing and then they switch up. Not because they trying to make money, but just because they get older, man.
Rappers get old.
Rappers get old, bro.
It's crazy. It's way different than a singer getting old.
I was talking with somebody about like the best R&B group and of the 90s, and I was like, I think she said Boyz II Men.
Okay.
And I was like, it was Jodeci. She was like, she understand why I said Jodeci, but she was like, their songs aren't timeless. It's not classic. And I was like, what are you talking about? You can smash to that forever. She was like, true, but like they can't, like Boyz II Men can tour forever, right? Singing their songs because they're love songs, they're romantic, they're timeless.
Right.
But you don't want to see 65-year-old Casey or JoJo up there humping the ground and air thrusting, talking about freak me. You don't want to see that. But you can sing Water Runs Dry or End of the Road forever. They can tour forever with what their catalog Boyz II Men can. But Jodeci, they are out of there, bro. There's no way they can tour forever.
Low key, Pretty Ricky in the Millennium Tour.
Oh,
Have you seen that? That was super weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see them at all. I didn't like Pretty Ricky ever. I'm be honest with you.
I did when it was time for school dances. That's when young virgins got to feel the butt on their junk. You got to finally feel the junk.
I get it. I get the appeal. I just didn't. I never really could get with them. They just was doing too much for your boy. And that came out when I was still like in that range. I just was like, no, thank you. Never liked Pretty Ricky.
The dude who got on my nerves the most, he was like the dude who always had his shirt off and was like trying so hard. He was like, let me caress your chest and make you sweat.
No.
He's randomly like a top financial advisor now. Like
really?
Yeah, he runs like a crazy big tech company. His name's Spectacular.
Yeah, Spectacular. Yeah.
And he gives like a business advice now. It's the most bizarre. It's like
that's like when you find out Chameleonaire has like 6 tech companies.
Yeah, he's one of them too.
Yeah, that's dope. But that's dope that he was able to
simulation.
transition and was smart enough to foresee that it wasn't gonna last forever. Because nothing lasts forever. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the other guys in Pretty Ricky are doing.
Somewhere in a club singing.
Probably,
5 up in the morning.
He's probably a stripper. He has to be stripping in some type of way.
They doing that at a Captain D somewhere across mid-America while people getting cold slides. 5 up in the morning.
That's a sad life. Like I think when I started watching those biopics and it showed like people like right after their prime and then after that.
Yeah, man.
It's tough.
It's tough, man.
You got to transition.
I love comedy, man, because like long as I'm relevant and long as I stay close to the streets, I can do it forever.
You could do it as an old man.
Yeah,
hooked up to an IV and it was still probably
Dick Gregory was doing comedy to the end, bro. Like,
really?
Yeah, he was doing it to the end. Red Fox was doing it. All of those guys are doing it from like over a 30, 40 year span, bro. Because comedy is timeless. People always don't want to laugh, but music changes literally every 5 to 10
People
years.
be like, I don't want to hear this shit anymore.
No, they don't want to hear that. If you tried to play some 1990s music at like a hip hop at a party, like a kickback, I mean, turn this shit off, man. Unless it's like Snoop or Dre,
right?
Or like Pac, like the big singles, California Love, something like that. But if you just put on some MC8 or Spice One, niggas like, get that shit out of here, man.
Right, niggas. I don't know. No one drops the Sugar Hill Gang unless it's like. This was the first hip hop song ever.
That's usually like, toward the end of the night when they like about to clear it out.
All.
If at all, that's true. They'll play it as a reference, and then they'll go into like the new song that sampled it.
Sounds something like
you know what I'm
saying? Yeah. No one ever really listens to that early hip hop unless it's like this is early hip hop.
No. You get Biggie, you get some Mobb Deep. You know, just the singles though. You ain't gonna get all the hotness though. You're not gonna do it. It'll be weird.
Although early 2000s parties are always fun music wise.
Oh yeah. But you go knowing that because it's themed. So you be like, this is you get in the mindset of that. That's like you were just at a party and nigga bust out with some MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit. You be like, what the fuck is a DJ doing?
Right. Put them Franchise Boys on after Future. Like that don't even match.
Go Hammer, don't hurt them. You be like, niggas over there dancing like.
And then you just hear Mask Off. You're like, man, you done.
He is all over the place.
You went to a whole different drug.
This is your personal playlist, DJ. This is what you played before you got here. You need to get pumped up.
That's why I couldn't be a DJ. I just play the shit that I like. And
yeah.
I'd look up after 5 songs and see everybody like, we haven't danced in 4 minutes.
Niggas be cleaning pistols, ready to shoot them at you and shit. I couldn't be a DJ or a producer. Like, because producers have to work with some of the most ridiculous and unprofessional rappers I would imagine ever.
Huh, I never thought of that.
I've always thought like how a rapper writes a rhyme to a beat that they don't like. Like, do you think of another beat that just has a similar cadence? Like, I know, like I've heard some dope ass verses on some whack ass beats. And I was like, how did they manage to squeeze this gold out of this bullshit?
I think they like the beat.
But I've heard rapping, like even like Audio Push, they have this song when one of them starts rapping on the second verse, he's like, and I ain't really like this beat at all, but I'm gonna kill it anyway. Some shit like that. But like I know rappers.
Was he a feature?
Nah, they were a group, so I'm sure one of the guys liked it, but the other one didn't. But like, if it's my song and I want to get you as a feature on there, and I send it to you, and you hear the beat, like this shit is trash. Yeah. Like, how do you even get in the mind? Because you make music, so how would you even get in the mindset of that?
I think it's about showing the person who you're featuring, like all the options. Mm-hmm. So that's what producers do. Producers will come through with like 10 beats and just play through all of them, and then they jump on the best one. But then the artist would most likely be like, oh, I hear Future on this, or I hear Playboy Cardi on this, and send it to them. And I don't think they'd just be like, all right, unless it was like a check. Like, you know how like Nicki Minaj or like someone who's huge would jump on somebody random, like Taylor Swift song, or like some like EDM song. I know that the check is crazy.
Oh yeah,
like,
check gotta be
There's
stupid.
no way A$AP Rocky liked that track with Skrillex. You know what I'm talking about? It was just like, what? But Skrillex probably had that EDM check, so he was like, all right. So it's either like the check, or if they're cool, I think they would just be like, play me another one.
I know some people get on beats for the check, but like I always wonder how it work with rappers. Like, if you cool with a rapper, do you actually pay them for that verse?
I don't know.
Or do you just like promise them some royalties from the song?
Because I heard that T-Pain didn't get paid for any of his features.
Really?
Yeah, he did an interview recently and said he didn't get paid for any of them, and he figured it was the whole like verse for verse thing.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's a thing also.
Yeah.
And then when it came back down to like getting the verse from that same person, they started throwing quotes at him. So it was just like, nigga.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
the music industry, man.
You never know.
You never know, dog.
When you see people at the top like Eminem and Lil Wayne being like, yeah, I'm still fighting for my check. It's like, y'all?
Really?
I get it. Like with Blueface, you know, if you just take a Crip out the hood and give him a car and be like, you don't got no royalties.
Shout out to him, but man, I feel it's unfortunate. I saw an interview. He was talking like he don't know who he signed to.
Because he's like, I don't know, Whack handles all that, and it got really uncomfortably quiet, and everybody's like,
because niggas is like,
you'll be all right. That's what Charlamagne ended up saying. He's like, you'll be okay. You'll be. Blueface will be all right. That's never something you want to. I know Blueface thought about that the whole ride home. Like,
I should really look into this.
Yeah, I just picture that's how he is when he's confused.
Ooh, man, music industry, dog. I don't envy it. I don't envy it. At first you do. You be like, man, the cars and all that type of stuff. But people got to pay taxes on them. And I remember on that interview, I only watched a part of it, the T-Pain one, when he was at the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about he went broke.
Did he?
He went broke. Like, he was saying he had to borrow money for gas and to feed his kids. He went broke.
During his height?
Yeah, like I guess when he like took that time off, he had, I think he said like 70 million was the most he ever had in his bank account.
70?
70 million. I'm sure he had more in assets, but like in his bank account, he had 70 million. And they
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. They asked him how he went broke. It was like bad investments, man. He had his homeboy buy a lot of like property, houses and stuff, but in bad neighborhoods. Like, yeah, we could put a slab of paint on this and all of this and fix it up. He's like, nobody bought the houses. He's like, ever. He's like, he ended up just letting them go.
How is that even possible? You just have a vacant house for 4 years?
Man.
I thought property was a sure thing.
It's like if you buy a vacant house in a bad neighborhood, it don't matter that this has been updated. It's still in a bad neighborhood. I won't raise my kids here.
That's scary. Because you always think, like, if you have money, like, I'm going to do the smart thing. I'm going to invest. I'm going to do property. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Then you hear that shit failing. You like, fam.
But that's what happens when you put people in positions that aren't ready or qualified for it.
Just because they're close to you.
I would still put somebody in the right position for that, and then I would have somebody in my camp study on it so they could take over it at some point. But if that person's not qualified, I'm not finna just put you as a property manager and you just were the manager at a BP or Shell gas station for the last 6 years.
People got to worry about that because people are real quick to put their like aunt or mom or dad in a management position, or like a brother or sister in like a very close business situation, and then that's a tough fallout. Like,
bro, because somebody got to answer for this.
Exactly. You
somebody
have to always work with somebody who you're okay with screaming at or cutting off. And if it's your mom, like I would never put myself in a position. I wouldn't
put my mom is always late. I wouldn't put her in a position for shit. She can't handle travel. She can't handle instructions. None of that. Just come.
That's the worst part. My mom is super good about that kind of stuff. She's super organized and could probably handle it. But when it comes down to like the environment of it, I don't even know if that's a good idea.
I wouldn't want to yell at my mom. Like, I don't want to, like, cause she fuck up, I'm gonna have to call her a bitch. I'm gonna have to, and I don't
you
want
have to have somebody in a position where you can't be like, I'm so mad at you, mom.
Nah, on a business level, like, I'm two different people. Like, when it comes to business, I'm a different person. When it comes to like regular life, I'm cool. But like, you fuck up business, motherfucker, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to talk like that to my mom, cause I would mush her. Like, business to him is ruthless. I'm Suge Knight.
I can't even picture myself doing that.
My mom's shorter than me. What the fuck were you thinking? I'm mushing turn a little bit.
Oh my god. I just pictured myself mushing my mom, and it's like the most embarrassing thought I've had today.
Get your shit together, Emma. My mom got an old name.
Emma Moore?
Emma Jean.
Emma Jean.
Whoa,
that is an old name.
An old name, man. We from the South of the country, bro.
I feel like she knows how to do anything with her hands. Like, I know she knows how to make anything.
She did. My mom taught me how to cook. Before I moved to California, my last Thanksgiving in St. Louis, she made me cook everything for Thanksgiving. All she did was stand there and told me what to do. Yeah, it was. But I had to cook for the whole family. It wasn't just me, her, and my sister. It was my aunts, uncles, all my grandparents and cousins came over to my place.
15 plus?
Like 15 plus. Ooh. I had to cook a big ass turkey. I had to do the dressing. When you cook a real dressing, like cornbread dressing, you gotta cook the dressing while the turkey's cooking, and then take the turkey out, get the juice from the turkey, pour that on the cornbread that you just cooked for the dressing, mix it up, then cut up the celery, carrots, all that, and then put it back in the oven with the turkey. Like some people do it separately, but some people put it actually in the turkey so the juices keep absorbing in it. And that's how you keep it moist, yeah.
You put it in the turkey?
Nah, like around it. Around the turkey.
Oh, okay.
Inside the turkey, you want to stuff like vegetables and onions and stuff like that to help the flavor come out. But yeah, man, she made sure I know how to cook everything. I mean, I'm talking about mashed potatoes from scratch. Have to wash the mashed potatoes, peel them, cut them up.
We were just talking about that.
Bro, yeah. Everything from scratch.
Jeez.
Yeah, she didn't help at all. She just sat there and smoked. You're doing it wrong. Well, help me, motherfucker. Nope.
I know she know how to bake.
Oh, yeah.
That is a bacon-ass name.
Oh, yeah. Sweet potato pies. Her and my uncle make the best sweet potato pies. She made me do that, too. I had to cut them sweet potatoes, boil them sweet potatoes,
do you remember
mash
how
them
to
up.
do all that stuff? I had to cook Thanksgiving dinner, too, and I don't remember none of it. If I did it again, I would for sure have to go to Google again. That was a long time ago, though.
You gotta make sure you go to the right Google site. Google will have you doing Velveeta shells and cheese for your macaroni.
Yeah,
though.
you really like all those recipe.com and stuff like that have a lot of white undertones.
Oh, absolutely. Breadcrumbs on mac and cheese. Fuck, you need some breadcrumbs.
And if you don't read ahead,
mac and cheese,
you will find out at the wrong. You'll be at step 8. Raisins. raisins?
I'll just throw the whole kitchen away.
It's
Just
too
close
late.
the kitchen up, like cabinets and all. Just put it in the trash bag.
It's
Throw this
too
whole
late
kitchen.
to go back now. Oh damn, that shit is
Raisins. I imagine you like, all right, done with that. Now add raisins. What? Wait, what?
This is mac and cheese.
It tells you gotta finish this.
Well, I have a fantastic hits joint fact, but before you do that, I have an article I gotta read you, man.
Come on, man.
The first vape-linked illness and death has been recorded. Have you heard this?
Yeah, people have been sending me this.
It says a patient has died after developing a severe respiratory disease due to vaping in the first such death in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's a mystery lung disease that is linked to e-cigarettes. Apparently, there's 193 potential cases, but this was the one that did it. It says many of these cases involve vaping THC, which is the main active compound in cannabis. We all know that stuff. But it says the person who died was hospitalized with the unexplained illness after reported vaping or e-cigarette use, which is intense. This was in Illinois, and they died. And it hasn't even been identified, but they know that it involves vaping in some form.
Yeah.
Vaping does seem like that thing that gets a commercial a bunch of years later. Like, if you vaped from 2015 to 2019,
you could be involved in a class action lawsuit.
I don't know, man. I can't say
I knew it
didn't
was
see
coming.
it coming. Yeah.
I knew it was coming because anytime you're inhaling something that is just not natural air, is going to have some effect on you. Right? So I think that the health world just didn't have enough information to make a valid claim as to what the risks were. And they still don't because the technology is still new. And like people think that doctors know it all. They don't. Everything that doctors do is basically them guessing. That's why they call it practice. And if you do it wrong, it's malpractice. Because they're still figuring it out, man. Like, because illnesses affect everyone differently. That's why, like cancer could run in your family, but your mother get breast cancer, you get prostate cancer, somebody else get bladder cancer. It doesn't matter because it affects people differently. So they're just guessing because every treatment doesn't work. That's why chemo works for some people and it doesn't work for others. So
really scary.
It really is.
Your doctor's in there just throwing Hail Mary.
I think I've seen this before, my nigga.
Imagine. I'll walk out.
So how much blood you coughing up? Is it like a little bit? Like it's like you gotta spit it out. Spit it out? Okay, fuck it. Hey, Jimmy!
He over there trailing off like you have heart disease?
It's like, all right, it could be one of 16 things. It may be. He'd be like,
my best guess, if you were to ask me, nigga, what? I'm paying copay.
That's why you have to go to school for 8 years, bro. Like, you got to learn all the different cases and all the different scenarios associated with it because there are so many cases where people thought it was one thing and it ended up being something completely different, but just because the symptoms overlap, but it's practice, bro.
Damn.
A lot of shit does not get solved until a major thing happens, especially like in the airline world. Man, like they didn't have black boxes at first. Those transponders that like literally record.
So they were just like they hung up the phone. They're like, that plane's gone. That shit did not land in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't know what went wrong. They like the black box records all the conversations and everything that goes on in the cockpit basically. So they play that back to try to figure out what went wrong. But initially that wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like flotation devices, all of that shit happened because planes crashed and they be like, we got to fix this shit. We got to get a handle on it.
What's the black box made out of?
Metal and recording stuff. It's in the cockpit. Like it also has the tracking device on it, so they can always track the plane too.
Because what's crazy is that hack joke. I'm sure you've heard it a million times. Why don't they just make the whole plane out the black box? But like nobody ever goes further than that. Like, what is it made out of? It says the outermost shell is a case made of hardened steel or titanium designed to survive intense impact. Damn, the joke's actually kind of true. Why don't they make the whole plane out of that?
Well, I mean, the whole plane doesn't need to be made out of it because if they have that, they can basically understand what went wrong. But even still, like if they made the whole plane out of titanium, it should be heavy as fuck.
That's true. And then it says there's an insulation box and then a thermal block to protect against
fire and explosion. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Is it indestructible though? It is subjected to a 227 kilogram weight with a pin attached to it, which is dropped into the unit from a height of 3 meters. What am I reading?
Oh, that's the drop test.
Oh.
To see what it can withstand.
They try to crush it, destroy it in an hour of 1,100 degrees Celsius fire, submerge it in a pressurized saltwater tank, and immerse it in jet fuel. Okay, so they damn near got it. Yeah. They got it up to par.
Hey, did you know that they test condoms like before they like package them?
No.
Yeah, man. So that condom has already been through the works. Like,
not that specific condom you're using.
Man.
They don't test the condom you put on.
You sure?
Yeah. No.
You're not sure?
No,
right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's no way. I just assumed.
I don't think they taste like one random one out of the batch. I thought they tested them all. Like the same thing with cars.
I thought it was like you get a new design. Like, okay, I just invented ribbed, and then I guess they test that, and then they manufacture it. That's what I would assume. Because have you ever tried to like? God, this sounds gross. Have you ever tried to reuse a condom?
I have sat with a condom on, and like afterwards, and because I didn't bust, and
you slept?
Just sat, just like talking and shit, and then through the talking you get excited again. Like, let's go another round. You either gotta like lube that bad boy up, or you just gotta replace it.
Exactly. Or if it like falls off and you try to get it back, it's not the same as the roll on.
Nah, it's harder to slide it back on. So
and I for sure meant what you meant. I didn't mean like next day, like, all right. Yeah. But I would assume like.
But they got machines to do that.
To roll it back up?
Yeah.
So
Type it up. Let's find out. This is where the internet gets scary, when you start learning the truth.
Condoms. Oh, snap.
Yeah, man. They come off the line. People be pulling them. They put it on machines. And because it has to go through like this jerking motion to make sure that.
Oh, it's not just people fucking in them.
No, not like that.
Oh, I thought that's what you were getting.
You thought niggas is just like, oh man, another long day at the job.
Like, bop, 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 nah. This one works. Roll it back up.
Nah.
And then your local consumer.
You get the condom, it already got a pubic hair on it. It'd be like, the fuck?
No.
I just ripped this bitch open.
No. Yeah, it's all machines.
Yeah.
Dimensional. Oh, they stretch it out all the way.
Yeah, man. They gotta test the elasticity of it.
That's crazy.
Right?
Electronic testing is the only test performed on every single condom. It is what manufacturers mean when they refer to individual or electronic testing. To perform the test, a condom is pulled over a metal form called a mandrel. It's a robo-dick. Mm-hmm. The condom is then placed into the presence of an intense electrical field. What? Which is created in air or water depending on equipment used by the manufacturer. Because rubber does not conduct electricity, no electricity should reach the metal mandrel under the condom. If the electricity reaches the metal mandrel, it indicates the presence of a pinhole.
Oh, shit. I guess that's a good way of... But that makes sure that it doesn't have a hole.
They are electrocuted?
Yeah, man. Scary.
Wow.
Yeah, you got an Iron Man dick.
Is chained up like...
I don't know anything. I don't know where the dick is. Tell us where the dick is. I don't know.
Tell us where the dick is. It's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
That shit is scary.
This is so totally random, but my friend Will Ferrell and I always talk about if Pokemon were ever real, humans are fucked up enough, like, we'd play with them for 1 year and then they'd all be like slaves, and we'd all try to figure out like what's the most fucked up ways people would use condoms or Pokemon. This is for sure one of them.
Oh yeah.
They would be electrocuting the shit out of these things. Condom testing.
It would be bad if people really had Pokemon, bro.
Oh my god, this is
wild.
wild.
Be doing drive-bys with Pokemon.
Shit, fire and water coming up.
That'd be all bad.
Dimensional testing is performed on a random sampling of condoms. The length, width, and thickness of the condoms are precisely measured according to the standards. So I guess that's when they're just stretching every which way.
Yeah.
Air burst testing. Condoms must be able to contain a minimum amount of air, pressure, and volume without breaking. So to perform this test, a random sample of condoms are filled with air until they pop. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, man.
I'm really shocked. I feel like I'm going to be talking about this condom thing for a long time.
Hey, man.
I feel like I'm just gonna be like, yo, you know how you tested condoms?
The more you
like,
know.
What? All right, well, while we're talking about just completely random things, I found this thread on Twitter. What is the worst thing you've ever spilled in your car?
This person said mine was a
Pint full of baked beans.
Oh, baked beans.
Oh yeah, this whole thread is crazy because I'm trying to think of the worst thing because my car has smelled like many different things. Man, I'm trying to think of the worst. None of them are worse than this. The worst one is probably squid juice.
Wait, what?
It says squid juice that they were using for bait.
Oh, you gotta throw that whole car away. That's like shitting in your seat.
And his wife was pregnant, so she was super sensitive.
She was getting
smells.
all of it.
It was
The smells was just fucking up her nostrils.
Squid juice.
That's weird.
Someone said a container of worms. These are all fishermen, I'm hoping.
Yeah, hopefully. It's just weird, just walking around with this shit just randomly.
Oh no.
I probably bodily fluids.
Pee?
Nah.
Okay.
Other.
But the word spill is very important in that. Did you have like a container filled with it?
No, you just spilled it because they didn't catch it.
I don't think that's spill. What else besides your semen to hear? I was thinking of something maybe in a container. This dude said his friend was into taxidermy and found a specimen on the beach. Thinking he had enough garbage bags around it, he brought it home in his trunk. What was it? A large harbor seal carcass, rotten to the core.
That is...
You cannot be friends with someone who's picking up dead seals and putting it in their trunk.
Because you ever walk by an old sushi restaurant or something and you smell like the smell of old fish and all that?
Salty death.
Can you imagine what a dead seal smells like?
I'm way more concerned with this dude's mentality, how he picked that up, carried it, and was like, ooh, this is a... The fact he called it a specimen is...
The fact that you like taxidermy with a seal, like how big is this house?
Yeah, I know.
On the shelf that you were gonna put this on, fuck you stay at.
I just had to shoot at a place that did taxidermy, and it is not okay. It is so gross. It's literally like a dead thing, and it's never done well.
Yeah,
it's always like their foot is off, and like half of their face is missing. You see their bones, and they're just like, "Hi, I used to be a fox." It's like, damn, fam.
That's gross.
That is bad. That is bad. I don't know what mine is. I feel like anything that can mold. Because I've spilled water and that was bad. Water was for sure bad. I think I feel like I've had to scrub something out of my car before.
Oh snap! My first car, I spilled breast milk in. It was in my son's bottle. And with milk, you can't just like wipe it up. You got to do a deep scrub. Man, I did not know about that deep scrub. When I tell you that heat hit that seat, I got in that car and it smelled like chemical warfare. Well, I mean, yeah, like the next day, chemical warfare. It was a doozy.
I don't think anything's beating that.
I threw the car away.
I don't think anything's beating that. Low key, I think maybe I had like soul food in the car or whatever. Something was there's like to feed a bunch of people at my house or something, and that they never wrap it right. It'll always be like that random juice at the bottom of the bag, and when it all mixes together and it doesn't smell like one food, that's a smell you're gonna probably have until January.
Soul food smells good cooking it individually, but you put all those smells together. That's not a healthy smell right there.
It's never fun.
Ugh.
That is never, ever, ever.
That is gross. I'll pass on all of that.
You might have the worst one. Squid juice is pretty...
A
dead seal is probably the worst.
Ugh. Every time I think about it, ugh.
This has nothing to do with anything, but this is one of the best tweets of all time. I remember this was a minute ago. This was 2 years ago. Somebody said I spilled baked beans all over myself watching Cars 2 in theaters, and a black teenager shouted, "This nigga eating beans!" and everyone laughed.
Yo, why the fuck are you taking beans in the theater?
Baked beans.
I had baked beans in years. I can't even remember the last time I had them, but that is ridiculous. I've never had him in the movie theater.
Yo, that is too damn funny.
Whose man's is this? What did you bring it in?
Oh my God, bro, that is too funny. All right, so there's a crazy story. You know what? This could probably be our conspiracy theory because it's just creepy.
Yeah.
So yeah, conspiracy theory.
Here we
the
go.
music. Tokyo has an old man that has been dead for quite a while, but his podcast family was collecting all the money for it. Ooh, ooh, you been dead. Ooh, ooh, you been dead. Ooh, ooh, you been dead. Ooh. That was pretty much the whole story.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
So this was called Living Buddha. There was a dude who was being honored. His name was Sogen Kato, and he lived in Tokyo, and government officials wanted to congratulate him on his 111th birthday. It was basically going to be the world's oldest man, or Tokyo's oldest man, and the officials pulled up with a cake to honor him, but when they found him, he had been dead for 30 years.
So wait, the body was still there?
That's what I'm saying. People are unnecessary as hell. So apparently, they grew suspicious when they went to honor Mr. Kato at his address, but his granddaughter told them he doesn't want to see anybody. So they were like, and now so I guess these were welfare officials. They went to visit, and they basically got chased away every single time, which is weird. It's like, nigga, we just want to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
They grew suspicious and sought an investigation by police, who forced their way into the house on Wednesday, which is funny. That they're like, get out the way with a birthday cake.
Let us see this nigga. You know how many candles we've had to buy?
Happy
Light
birthday.
this blow out.
111 candles. It's just all candles with a little cake.
Oh man, this is so bad.
So they forced their way into this house with a cake, and they discover a mummified body, believed to be Kato, lying in his bed still, wearing underwear and pajamas covered with a blanket. Now, we were just talking about smells.
Yo.
You got your 30-year-old dead-ass grandfather still in his pajamas, which I'm assuming they maybe change. If you're doing it that far,
yeah,
I'm assuming they change his underwear and pajamas and the bed.
But bodies swell up, so that first couple years had to be tough.
Oh my God.
The gases for your body.
Oh, dead people fart.
Yeah, they swell up. They have to go somewhere.
Dead people fart.
So those first couple months or first couple years, that had to be a doozy.
I mean, there are alive niggas farts.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, are you sure you're alive?
What have you
Are
been
sure
eating?
you're not
What's your
dead?
diet like?
But a dead nigga?
Bro, like what? Why won't they get rid of the body?
You could easily get the money. I mean,
You
it's not
can
like
still
they were
collect
fingerprinting.
Yeah. If he obviously died at home, so there are no records of him passing. Why would y'all keep this body?
Do you think, I mean, if somebody were to come to collect it, he'd be recorded as dead?
Well, I'm not talking about them collecting it. I'm talking about them just getting rid of it.
Well, it says the relative said that he confined himself in a room more than 30 years ago and became a living Buddha. So I guess they were like, we didn't know. But they had received 9.5 million yen in widower's pension payments.
Wow.
Via his bank account, and his wife died 6 years ago, and some of the money had recently been withdrawn. So the pension fund had long been unable to contact Mr. Kato. His family must have known he'd been dead all these years and acted as if nothing happened. It's so eerie. Yeah, the smell. There's no way around the smell.
I mean, Buddhas, they light a lot of incense, so.
They really were just like, no, he just hasn't been out in a minute. He's dead. Can you imagine like the bad acting that went on? No, what?
I know Well, how was he getting his food? We thought he was fasting for 30 years.
We smelled something, so we assumed he was eating.
That's so fucked up.
I don't understand.
People are horrible, man.
All right, man. I don't really know. I mean, this was like literally like Psycho.
People are just horrible. That's the only way to put it, man. And family be fucked up, man. Y'all just sitting with that dead old man like that, and y'all just taking his money.
It's like Alfred. You ever seen Psycho, the movie?
Yeah.
Where he was like in a dress the whole time, but then it was like, if you were acting as your mom, why is the skeleton still here?
Man, get rid of it. Some people have abandonment issues, and just hoarders.
That is. I just wanted to be there for the acting.
That
When they
was
bust
horrible.
in with the cake and was like, oh my God. And they were like, oh my God. Oh, Grandpa. Grandpa. Oh no. He's had that Adam's little Asian. Oh no, he dead.
Oh, not okay. Nah, they gonna be coming for you. But it was funny.
Let us know. Was that racist? I'm just kidding. Let us know, how far would you go to keep getting money through your family? Because this is probably the furthest, low key.
Maybe they were thinking like, fuck it, he ain't missing it, and
It's the
the
government.
government.
So fuck it.
They got the money. They just like, we didn't kill him. It didn't say that they killed him.
But I'm dressing up a sex doll with a wig that looks like him way before I'm keeping a dead nigga in the bed for 30 years.
The fact that your brain went there scares me. Not even
I mean, if we
over.
were just gonna do it,
Okay.
if the family needed,
You could have just hired an old man to be him and just have him sitting there.
That's
and just
true.
break him off 10,000 yen.
just for the
Just
welfare.
for that. Just for that. But y'all didn't. You didn't.
He had to look 111 though.
And makeup prosthetics.
Low key, there are some like 80-year-old white people that look 111.
This is true.
So I think you could have. They'd have been like, "Oh, you look kind of good for your age."
Why you
I gotta stop with the accent.
Still doing the accent.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching yet another episode of Damn Internet, You Scary. I have been Patrick Cloud.
And I'm to hear more.
We will see you with more fucked up shit next week.